if you are getting a fraction type, like you are getting an answer in decimal, which is not a whole number, then what are you going to do? You are going to convert that into a whole number if it's in fraction or a decimal form. Okay, this step is very rare, but if it's there, you need to convert it. Okay. Okay, how to calculate the molecular formula or molecular formula from empirical formula? Good. So we find N, which is actually a molecule or molecular mass divided by, and this molecular mass is usually given in the question. And the empirical formula mass we need to calculate from our formula, and then we multiply the answer with the empirical formula. Okay, I have a question for you then. Let's solve this question. Oh, I guess this is not the one. Okay, this is the one. Okay, sorry. Okay, this also includes the previous knowledge as well, and the empirical formula as well. Okay, question number two is the table shows displayed formula of some organic compounds. One, two, three, four, whatever. Okay, explain why these compounds are described as hydrocarbons. I'm extremely sorry. I have already shared. Okay, here's the question. So why are these known as, is it visible now? Okay. Why are these known as hydrocarbons? Or how do we define hydrocarbons? Because these compounds only contain hydrogen and carbon. Okay. Among these, B and E are described as unsaturated. Why so? This part we have missed. What is unsaturated? Exactly. It's because they have double bond. So they would be classified as unsaturated. Okay. Um, there is one thing called as saturation and unsaturation. So in hydrocarbons, unsaturation means whenever there is a double bond, because we will do some reactions which would include the addition of something. So we can add some atom in the unsaturated molecule, but we cannot add any external atom in the saturated one. Like if something react with these A, D, C or F, one atom has to be replaced. I mean, one hydrogen atom has to be removed to accommodate the coming one. While in this one, in B and E, the atoms don't have to be arranged. They would be like simple. They would be added wherever there is a double bond or a triple bond. Okay. So double bond is the one. These contain double bond. Is there a triple bond as well? I guess. Yeah, no, double bond. Okay. Which letter represents the first member of homologous series of alkane? A, because it has only one carbon. Okay, which letter represents compound that have an empirical formula CH2? Okay, which would have CH2? You need to calculate. So first one is not possible. Not possible. A. So B is basically C3, H6. This is B. C is C3H8, D is C4H10, E is C4H8, and F is C4H8. So which would convert into CH2 if we are going to simplify them? B, E, yeah, E and F. This can be simplified into CH2. So it's B, E, and F. Okay. The next part is you have to calculate something. Okay, I'm leaving one question from E part. We'll discuss it later when we discuss the reactions of alkanes, which we are going to do later today. We'll discuss this question later. Okay, E part. Let's move to F part. One of the compound in the table reacts with bromine to form G, a compound which have the composition of mass, this one of C and this one of hydrogen and this one of bromine. Calculate the empirical formula. Show by calculation that the empirical formula is this. So I don't know whether how you do it or not, but I ask students to make a simple table, like make simple columns depending on the number of atoms. So it's had carbon, it has hydrogen and bromine. How much carbon? 22%, 0.2, hydrogen 3.7, and bromine is 74.1. Okay, so the very first step that we discussed earlier is to write masses. So we write their masses, the percentage masses. Okay, then we have to find their moles. Okay, what is the molar mass of carbon, hydrogen, and bromine? 12. Okay, hydrogen is 1, and bromine is, do you have periodic table with you? Okay, it's in group number 7. 80. Okay, so what is the number of moles? What is your answer when we divide it? It is 3.7. Very much. What is the answer for this one? It must be 1.85. I would be lesser than 1. 0.92. Okay, we have round off. We did round off. Okay, now which is the smallest one among these? The bromine, and we have to divide this number with all the moles, 0.93 and 0.93. Okay, so how many carbons? It would be simple too. Okay, 3.7 divided by 0.93, 4, and this one is definitely 1. So yes, we have proved that the formula is C2H4Br. Okay. Okay, next one is calculate the molecular formula. Let's find the value of N. Okay, let's find the mass of C2H4Br. 2 carbon, 4 hydrogen, and 1 bromine. So 2 into 12, 4 into 1, and 1 into 80. So 24, 4, and 80. So it would be equal to 108. Okay. So N is equal to the molecular mass divided by empirical mass. So 216 divided by 108. The answer is double it. No, it's doubling. 108 double is 216. So the molecular formula would be equal to 2 multiply C2H4Br. So it would become C4H8 2. Correct. Good. Let me check if there is any other question that we can do. Okay. Now, I won't be helping you in solving this question. I want you to solve this one question. Okay. Old refrigerators contain substance that can harm ozone layer in the atmosphere, while the new refrigerators uses 152A. It's a name of compound. So it's not a mass or anything, it's a name of that, you can say, a molecule. It has this much 36% carbon, hydrogen is 6%, while fluorine is 57.6%. You need to calculate the empirical formula and then calculate the molecular formula. Okay, there is one word written, relative formula mass. Sometimes we use the term molecular mass and sometimes we use the term um, formula mass. Okay, look over here. The question we did earlier is written reduce the relative formula mass. So we use relative formula mass basically in the ionic compounds, or where we did the simplification. Okay, because the empirical formula are the like simplified forms. So we use these formulas for that compound where we have repeating unit or something like that. Okay, how much time do you need to solve this? Okay, so first of all we write the individual atoms, carbon, hydrogen, and fluorine. Okay, CH2F. Will be divided by 2, 12, 1 and 19. So answer is 3, 6, and 3 divided by 3. So the final answer is CH2 3. Okay. The molecular formula will be calculating the value of N. So it will be 66 divided by the empirical formula of CH2F. So the mass for CH2F is 33. Okay, 66 divided by 33 is 2. So the molecular formula would become F2. Correct. Okay.